Blindlight here. It's Sunday, the second day of September, and it's Labor Day weekend. How y'all doing? I promoted the upcoming episodes on Netflix called Ozark. It's in its second season. The first season was it was Breaking Bad quality programming. I was hoping for even greater things for year two. I can now tell you that I've watched the whole thing, the good thing, sort of. I mean, you wait so long for the show, so in a sense it's almost like you wish you had the patience to wait to watch 1 hour a week. But on the other hand, I've been watching Better Call Saul 1 hour a week and feel deprived each time I have to get up after 45 minutes and wait for another week. Now I have to wait for a third year of Ozark, assuming they extend a third year. However, I am not sure that a third year will be in the cards for Ozark because I really don't think the second season could hold a candle to the first season. Now I'm watching it again to see if I change, but I was really I never got over this feeling of disappointment while watching the show. There was just too much chaos. Um, I like to see a little bit of character development, or a good bit of character development along with great story. This story was like basically one disaster to the next, a constant state of discombobulation. With Ruth, the Ozark girl who was brought up by extremely evil white parents that were poor. She had basically saved Marty's life at the end of season one, and you were expecting that the relationship develop in a positive way. But what happens is her evil father gets out of jail and basically makes her interaction with the Birds, Marty Byrde and his wife, more problematic than the first year. Without the good feelings that you got when things were overcome, bad things were overcome by good things uh, and stuff. Didn't have any crying moments in season two. Um, the last two or three episodes, and there's 10, were maybe the best, but um, it does look like they got if there was necessary chaos to overcome to get them to the point where now they can just be evil entrepreneurs. They're basically now, they've gone through so much hell and they're still there and they're not going to leave. So now it looks like they're about to receive all the benefits of doing all this evil shit they've been doing the last 2 years. Their desire was always to escape. The wife is the one that has gotten sort of very interested in the whole thing. She's basically a power whore that kind of broke through. In season one, you didn't get that so much. She was a sort of a recovering mental patient, I guess you could say. But in season two, she put on her political hat, and apparently she has tremendous talents in the political arena, which was immediately recognized by this super rich tycoon and power male living on a big house on the lake that they needed to utilize in order to Basically what they were doing was they were bringing two criminal enterprises together. The people who've been living in the Ozarks had a... Now, see, they ended season one by proposing that these heroin producers who had been wronged by the power company 70 years before could now get back at the power company. I thought there was a lot of plot potential around that thing, but that never got developed at all. And basically, that whole group has been discombobulated except for the evil wife, who actually poisoned her husband. She's still going, if there is a season 3, she is going to come back. But that was never developed, so it seemed to me that a lot of the plots that were the natural thing to develop um, never got off. Didn't even get off, and it went in a lot of different directions. And I think it was so scattered, it was hard to, really relax and just enjoy the ride, because you were waiting for them to set something up and then watch a natural evolution of that situation. But the situation kept changing to where it didn't get to that point until the very end. So my hopes is that for season 3 that they will do that. Now I am watching it a second time, and my expectations were extremely high. So now watching it a second time, I have no expectations about being super impressed anymore. So, and a lot of times I get a lot more out of a show after I watch it a second and a third time. Another show I've been watching is called The End. It's a show that's either done in Turkey or Iran. I'm not sure what language they're speaking, but you have to read the lines if you want to follow it. And basically follows this husband and wife who get separated, and the wife's obsession with finding out why the husband disappeared and never came back. And the secret love that her husband's best friend had for this woman. Now, I haven't watched the whole show, but I've got probably 4 episodes to go on that. They're only half-hour shows. There's about 50 of them. And it's been entertaining. I have to say, I have really been more entertained by this show. And I can see a lot of weaknesses in the thing. When I'm watching foreign shows, you're not getting Hollywood productions in all its excess, but also in all its excellent scripts. A lot of good scripts come out of Hollywood. Whereas you see very, very weak, the conversation dialogue between these people is just extremely basic and boring. But for some reason, I've enjoyed the show. I guess I kind of like seeing what other countries are watching and stuff. So, sorry, this doesn't have anything to do with the Jew World Order. It just, I'm pretty uninspired about what's going on. I'm thinking the GDL is, I've been kind of disappointed that they look like these young people are all super worried about being called Nazis and shit. I certainly don't want to join a group that's going to groupthink me out of certain areas I naturally tend to explore. I think the Nazis got a bad rap and did a great job in the 1930s, better than any country in the world. Hitler had amazing success while everybody else the poor people were suffering as the rich people got richer. Whereas Hitler didn't make the rich people get poorer so much. And the Jews, as much as you hear about persecuted Jews in the 30s, they were well above, their living standards were well above the normal Goy populations, well into the 30s. And they didn't really get rounded up in concentration camps until either right before the war, when the war was almost inevitable, or during the war. And of course, the Jews want to pretend that they didn't have any amenities in these concentration camps because it doesn't jibe with their made-up fiction surrounding the Holocaust and evil Germans. But enough of that. I hope you all enjoy your next, for most of you, next two holidays, Sunday and Monday. We shall see you when we shall see you. Take care.